You can do it. You can make it until spring break. Summer vacation is just around the corner. Hey, you're not that tired, are you? Why? You should be ashamed of yourself talking about you're exhausted on the weekend. Can't you do just one more thing? Well, if you're like me and you've been around any amount of time, you know that these statements just are not true, especially when you're feeling tired and burnt out. Teacher burnout is real, but there are things you can do to prevent it. And I want to talk to you today about what you can do to help you feel better as you navigate the murky waters of self-care and self-love as an educator. We can't give our students our best. We can't give them all the love, understanding, and education that they need when we are struggling ourselves. They say you can't pour from an empty cup. And so it is important that you take care of you, that you take those naps, those power naps, that you set aside time for you. When you feel exhausted, be patient with yourself. And I know that can sometimes be hard to do because I know I have often got mad with myself because I got sleepy at about 8 o'clock at night. And then I had to realize, hey, you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock, that is a normal time for you to be powering down. Your body needs to rest. I used to get upset because I couldn't figure out why on the weekends people were harassing me, as I call it, because they want me to go out and do all these things they feel like I should do. And then when I said no, they made me feel like a villain. I was the evil one. I was doing something wrong because I was trying to take care of me. And I felt extremely guilty until I realized that if I keep going and going and going, my body is going to shut down. And I did have an incident this year where my body literally shut down. I was driving and I couldn't stop my car. I couldn't get out of my car. I couldn't back my car out. I couldn't do anything else because my body had decided that enough was enough. I was exhausted, and it was determined to show me that I was exhausted. So we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And no, we shouldn't feel guilty about saying about our own personal health. Care isn't being selfish. It is essential for you to be able to perform at your best, for you to be able to give your students your all, for you to be able to give your family and your friends the best of you. Then you have to take care of you. It took me a couple years, more than 10, I confess, to figure out that I was more than my job. You are more than your job. You're more than your profession. You are a person, and you deserve to be treated like a person. When your employers or your employer or the school district is pouring more and more and more on top of you, and it's taking up your weekends, it's taking up your holidays, because I was guilty of this. You got paper spread all out across your floor, and one room in your house looks like an extension of your classroom, then you've gone too far. You are more than your job. You are not just a teacher. Somebody made the statement, I agree to a certain extent, but they said you're a teacher 24/7. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you're a teacher. Your students are watching you. Your parents are watching you. You have to always make sure you're living at your highest standard. That may be true, but you are more than a teacher. You are a mom. Well, many of us are moms. Some of us are grandmoms. You are a wife. You are a daughter. You are a church member. I guess you're a church member, whatever it is. You are something other than a teacher. You have a life outside of school, so to ask you to sacrifice your health in order to constantly be a teacher is too much, and the pressure is overwhelming. So remember, you are more than your job. Before we go any further with this video, if you have not already, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and that you subscribe so I continue to give you more teaching tips and hacks. And I will see you back in the video. Be your best. You can't give your family, your spouse, your friends 100% when you've given it all at school or at work. I know they all the time say, leave it all on the field. Leave it all in your classroom. Well, if you leave all of it in your classroom, you're not going to have anything left for your family. So that comes down to making a choice between giving your job everything that you have, or if you are going to ensure that your mental and physical health come first. We know we got to make sure family is a priority. Like I said, we're more than a job. Be sure to set no grading zones. Don't grade those papers. I had to learn I couldn't grade everything. One time I wanted to grade everything my students did. Oh my gosh, I would get that pen out. And even now I have to talk to myself about grading all those papers. You can't grade everything. There should be a zone or a time or a space when you don't grade stuff. You should have a place where you can go. I call it my happy place, your decompression center, wherever it is that you go, that you shut down and you don't talk about, you don't think about school, you don't grade anything. That's just your personal time. And as educators, we don't think about this, but we need to schedule time in which to have downtime. Just like our students need to have recess, they need to go to break. We need to go to break. You need to schedule some time in which you go to break, in which you don't think about school, you don't think about work, you think about yourself, and that's what you focus on. We want to also have a time we decompress or detox from teaching. And I can remember having a principal whose family had a rule. Him and his wife were both educators. She was a teacher, he was a principal at two different schools. But anyway, they had a rule that when they came home, once they pulled up in the yard, there was no more talking about school. They didn't bring school into their home. And we have to also make a point that we're not going to bring school into our homes. We have to set this time aside to make it a priority to focus on our family, ourselves, and our health. We also have to learn how to say no. So I said, when people are steady trying to add more and more onto your plate, when friends, family members are asking you to do this and do that, and it's your time, it's the weekend, it's your time, you just want to lay in that bed. Lay in that bed, learn how to say no. You have to learn how to say no, because if you don't learn how to say no, you will literally work yourself to death. And you have to not do that. It's okay to take a vacation. Take what they call a mini retreat. You can take some time to just get away and spend that time with yourself and maybe your family. But wherever it is not time to be spent worried about school or doing schoolwork. So go on a mini retreat. Maybe you just go somewhere for the weekend, you and your family, you and your spouse. You could even go by yourself, because I know I have gone off by myself and had a wonderful time. I really have. You get your massage by yourself or whatever it is you want to do to help you feel better. But set aside that time for you to do you. So stop feeling guilty about being tired. Stop feeling guilty about taking care of yourself. You can only be your best when you feel your best. So that's what I want to leave with us today here on 2Q Classroom. So I'll see you guys in the next video.